Welcome to the replay of our virtual vintage Zoom series, presented by modernmahjong.com and our group Mahjong Community on Facebook. We are thrilled to share these photographs and videos from friends of ours offering a sneak peek into their fabulous collections. Thank you to Theresa, Barney, Carrie, Toby, Greg, and Kay. Since COVID hit, we've been coming up with many creative ways to keep our Mahjong community entertained. We want to keep connected, and we have done that through crossword puzzles, scavenger hunts, online puzzles, Zoom talks, and events. These can be viewed by searching facebook.com/groups/Mahjong community. When you visit modernmahjong.com and scroll down, you can look at the Events tab. Here we have listings of upcoming events, including the Zoom links for them. We also have information about our monthly Mahjong tournaments. We've been putting these events on at our hard work and expense because we know how important it is for all of us to stay connected over our shared love of Mahjong. We really appreciate and thank you for your support of our small two women-owned business. We had a slight technical difficulty with the video at the beginning of our presentation. So here is the first set shared by Theresa Bounassi, a stunning bone and bamboo set with very thick bone compared to bamboo ratio, lovely framing around the winds and the green and the red dragon, and a beautiful fully carved mother of pearl box. Thank you for sharing, and now to the rest of our Zoom virtual vintage series. Enjoy.
Okay, so this is a stone set. This was made from a company that also made toys, building blocks and things. So they dabbled in Mahjong, and it's a slide top wood box. The dice also come with the set. They're actually lightweight compared to the tiles themselves. And I didn't show the picture. If you ever go to get Gregg's book, there's a picture of all the tiles, and it's really neat. It's very Americana. It reminds me of Lewis and Clark because there's Indian images and like a Christmas tree. And to me, it's very American looking, but even though it was made in Germany. So it's a different set. The tiles are very large. You don't even appreciate how big they are, but they're quite large compared to its typical Mahjong tile, and they're heavy. So it's a different type of set to play with, but it definitely, is different. Submitted a playing card set. A lot of people have Mahjong cards, and this one just caught my eye with a very 50s look to it, but actually it was made in 1948 and out of Ohio. And the blue dragon was still wrapped perfectly, and the red dragon on the bottom, which I think there's another couple of pictures, had been used, but not much. And I was reading through the rules. I love the images. I thought they were so beautiful. But they had 166 playing cards and 30 were flowers. And the 30 flowers were used as wild cards. And then if you played with more than 3 people, you had to do a partnership somehow. And I couldn't wrap my brain around the rules and how that worked. But they kind of use it like Mahjong Rummy. So I thought it'd be fun to explore with someone one time how to play by their old rules, but the playing cards are pretty. This one is a Marca Pahafra set. It's casein, also made in Germany. The tiles are like taller, but they're very thin. And there's a variety of images that this manufacturer made, but all the colors are very vivid. They're iridescent. The blues are really like a royal blue. They just pop. But the set is hard to come by in pristine condition with good paint. And they have different birds, different one bams. So you'll see several different ones. And then there's a wind indicator that came with the set, several. I think you got 4, and then the counting sticks. But they also had different boxes that they sold them in. Leather boxes, cardboard boxes, and then like a flip top one.
And in the one, those are just the regular counting sticks?
Those are the regular counting sticks, yeah. There was a 1, 2, 5, a 10, and 100. Yeah.
It's so funny to see numerical, like regular numbers like that.
Yeah, and the paint on the, like you see in the one dot and the one bam, it's like a silver color.
Yeah.
It looks like fine bone, like it looks like china, you know, like bone, like ceramic.
Yeah, but they're very lightweight, and they're thinner tiles. They're not as thin as the thin French ivory tiles. They're a little thicker, slightly thicker than that, but they're taller.
And
Yeah.
carries. Okay, so now, by the way, just
And that's what the box looks like. Yeah, I always love all the stuff it comes with, the instructions and stuff, with all the different images, how they viewed, you know, the dragons and how they marketed it.
well, that's so interesting because I didn't even notice it until I enlarged it now when Don and I were doing this.
Yeah, the pearl.
The dragon chasing the fiery pearl, which was one of
Pearl.
our the other day.
Yeah, and then the fonts they use for you know, to make it Asian looking, you know, for
Yeah.
marketing purposes. But yeah, and this set I actually have 8 extra tiles for jokers.
Wow.
And then silly question, while I'm showing you guys this, the little chat screen isn't blocking your view, right? You don't see that over the
Yeah.
title?
Nope.
Okay, just making sure. Okay, so now let's,
And Theresa, are there 4 wind indicators in that set?
No, I don't. I only got with 3. I wish I had 4. Yeah, yeah. So the last set I think is a lucite set. Out of Hong Kong. It's more of a newer vintage because it has 8 jokers. And I thought it looked amazing with the Lotus rainbow dice. Those rainbow Lotus dice look perfect with all the different, I have several lucite sets and it really just makes them pop. And I thought the yellow lucite ones were fun with it. But I like this set because it has 8 natural jokers. And the yellow was very happy and sunny and, you know, kind of Florida. So it's fun to play with. It brings a smile to my face when I played with it.
It's interesting that it said Mahjong, M-A.
and I like that it calls it Toys.
Mah.
Toys.
Yeah, I don't know if that's they think of the H because we don't you know, it's
Right.
just
And you have a lot of fans of this set. Bob, Diana, and Stacy Rowe all love this set.
Yeah, and it's the natural jokers. You can't beat that, you know. Yeah, and it's a nice thick tile, and the lucite's very clear. That's one of the challenges with when you buy a lucite set is making sure that the lucite middle part is clear, and the white a lot of times gets discolored.
So I know a lot of the green paint on some of them turned like a yellowish gold. Some of the dragons.
Yeah.
Seen that on some of the
Relative of yours, Darren?
Say it again.
A relative of yours?
Yes, yes.
The other thing is when you look at some of the sets, heat will change the lucite, so it discolors them differently. So when you ever, you know, looking to add to your collection, make sure that all the tiles are face up. You get a picture of that, and face down, because you might have a few tiles that the green is off or the pink is off, and you'll be able to say, oh, that's a 7 dot, or she just got a flower, you know.
So anyone who's joining us, the person who's speaking is Theresa. Her daughter Catherine is the one who let her use her computer that had a good mic. So when it says talking, it's actually Theresa, not Catherine.
Yes, my desktop we had loaded, and there's no mic, so I was like, give me your computer right now.
Well, thank you very much. These were beautiful.
Thank
So
you.
now,
Yes, and I won't be able to stay because she's got a test tomorrow, and it's all on this computer. So I have to say goodbye from Vero Beach. Thank you so much.
Thank
I'm
you.
excited. I'll watch
Bye,
it.
Teresa.
so you know where to be. We'll
Your hair
share
looks great.
on YouTube.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. So now we are on Barney's collection, and I know you are all shocked that the first one has orange in it.
Yes, I was going to say orange shirt. I put on an orange shirt. Needless to say, this set was a no-brainer for me. The minute I saw an orange wafer back Chinese bakelite tile, I was like, okay, done.
Right.
Also, I had nothing to do with the beautiful presentation of the wrapping. The woman who created this set and this packaging for me literally created whatever that incredible silk thing is. It's like literally these leaves that fall on top of one another and hold all of the tiles together, which really spoke to me. And so I obviously I love the orange sticker that I found for the Jokers, which I thought went really, really well with this set. And then, of course, the real story of this is, without mentioning names, apparently the man who made the box is a famous artist / architect, and he made a number of these boxes. I believe he has since passed. I hope I'm not speaking out of school, but I believe that he has since passed, so there won't be any more of these boxes made. And so sort of to get my hands on one of these was a very special treat for me. The box literally slides over and the top slides out, and then all your tiles are in, and the top part literally fits into that base. So something very...
So Bernie, do you lay it flat to open it, or it opens from how
Yes,
it's standing?
no, to open it, you have to lay it flat and slide the top off. And this is one that I display on that coffee table, which you see in that picture there, which has a couple of my other sets. But this box is always on display in my house. I don't have to go looking too far for this one.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Now we'll go to, okay. And
Okay.
here we have,
When friends come to my house and I say, what set do you want to play with? Almost unanimously, I get the orange jellyback tiles. These tiles they just feel awesome in your hand. They're easy to see. They're easy to play with. The light goes through them and shines brightly. It's just really one of my favorite sets. It probably would be one that I leave the house with if it was burning. And I don't know if it was completely a coincidence. I wish I took a picture of it, but the case that this set came in, the handle, I don't know what they did, but the handle looks like it's made from the same exact material that this jellyback thing is made of. It looks identical to me. I can't tell the difference. I'm sure it's not, but it certainly looks that way. So,
and the tops of them is French ivy?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, French ivy.
Mhm.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay, so here we have your next set.
All the way from Hawaii, a set I've yet to play with, but it's just so unique. This is koa wood, and all of the tops are, I guess, sort of decoupaged onto the koa wood. And even to the point where someone took the time to create jokers. So this is actually ready to play. They're very, very light. It's sort of bizarre. The wood is actually very, very light. It came in a beautiful wooden box, a very, very short rack to play on. So I played on, I would play using a slightly different rack, but I just thought I've never seen another one like this. So this went into the category of, are there others? I don't know very much about, who made this set, other than Tony in Hawaii helped me get this set.
Beautiful.
Do you know if koa wood is from Hawaii? I mean, I know.
Certainly sounds like it might
Yeah.
be, right? I was like, I don't know. I didn't do any research.
Okay.
This next set is mini. These are very, very small tiles. I've seen a couple of other mini tile sets before, but my God, the tiles in this set were just so perfect. Those joker sticker tiles are identical matches. I cannot tell them apart from anything else. Very pretty soaps, I thought. And one of the special stories about this is the box. This box was one of the worst conditioned boxes I had ever seen. It was really ugly, and a friend of mine said, I'm taking this project on for you. I want to completely redo the box. Some of those corners were missing. I don't know what he did to create new corners, but he completely redid this box for me and made it look really pretty. And it's a really fun small tile set. So I don't know when others actually play with small tiles. I know a lot of people are big fans of them. I've yet to actually play any significant number of games with any of my small tile sets, but if you like small tile sets, this one you would love if you saw up close.
So just to go back over, Bob, maybe you might know if you want to answer by texting, but Bob said, can I have those to use on his koa table? So I guess that the wood is And then
Okay.
Gregg Swain said fabulous graphics. Greg, I think you're unmuted. That's Duke on the Joker. Was that from the prior set?
Who's Duke?
Oh,
Duke
the Hawaiian
Kamehameha.
Duke, well, that with the long Hawaiian name.
Ah,
Duke Kanioa.
I can't say it, but I bet it is. Tony's not with us today, is she? I don't.
no.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, okay. So yep, Bob just said the name of the wood. Kahana. I'm gonna mess that up.
Yes.
Hanamoku.
Hanamoku. One of the wonderful things about that language is it's very phonetic, so the words are just like you think.
Yeah.
Hanamoku. That's wonderful. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, it says most of these trees are on Hawaii, Maui, and Oahu.
Oahu. Okay.
Oahu. My God, I can't even read.
Yeah.
Yeah, very pretty.
Okay, and now for the next one.
Tiny.
Okay, here we go.
All right. Totally brand new, totally modern. 5 times a year, the Ferrari company makes Mahjong sets, and I saw it in their window in Manhattan and had to have it. The tiles are not special at all, but the box is just absolutely over the top amazing. The box weighs 25 pounds, so lifting it up is incredible. Those are fiberglass racks that the tiles are sitting on. So the only thing that they didn't do special about this set is the packaging, with the exception of, I'm going to tell you a quick story about these jokers. For whatever the reason, the set came with 8 jokers, but only 4 of them were the very signature pony or horse,
Pony, yeah.
stallion, right, for Ferrari. And so I went back to the people at the store and I said, could we call Italy and see if they'll make me 4 more? And he said, hey, I don't see why not. And he called them up and said, yep. And so notice that little envelope in the bottom left-hand corner, it says Modena, which is where the Ferrari organization is housed. That's their corporate office in Modena. And they said, yes, if the client is not in any rush, we will make him 4 more horses. And they did. It took 8 months. It took them 8 months. It took them 8 months to send me the 4 extra horses. But the only small little happy moment, thinking I was probably going to pay like $100 a horse or something, they charged me nothing.
Wow.
So it was a little treat from our friends in Modena, Italy. So just a really, the box is truly remarkable, and it's actually a fun set to play with. It really is. It's a common set. You've seen this in a lot of other sets. Nothing special about the tiles.
Oh, Donna, can you unmute Greg?
I did before, but I will.
Yeah, for some reason it didn't. Just so you know, if everyone isn't reading the text, Bob said, sorry for confusion. Koa is the Hawaiian wood, and the man's name is Duke, and then the last name.
Hanamoku, right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just going to tell Barney, a lot of times we get calls from people looking for tiles with the letter, green or red or, spring, fall, like they like the big, text on the tiles.
Yes,
I
this
see that
does have a
Greg
very
has-
big. Why am I blanking? Maybe someone on the call knows, but there is a name for the other set. If you go back to the last picture, the hand, is it something Del Negro? I think Del Negro might be the name of it.
Oh, I have seen that recently. Someone just mentioned that they bought one. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
those
Helen says Dal Negro.
Del Negro, thank you. That Del Negro line, it's actually that hand there. I don't believe they always have the ace card in the middle. I have hands like that don't have the ace card, but that set of the tiles, I think, comes from what's called the Del Negro set. So again, a common set. I think I have one, it was like $150. Nothing special about the tiles, except that they are big, easy to play with, and just fun.
I mean, it seems like a lot of the times, and I know there's exceptions, but a lot of the times that high-end companies that come out with sets, it's the packaging and the boxes that are more of what they're focusing on than the actual tiles.
Yes.
The Louis Vuitton case, the Ferrari box, and the racks.
Yep.
So Greg is unmuted. So Greg.
No, I just want to unmute myself. You had comments, but keep going.
It looks like parts of a Ferrari, like
Yeah.
a mat on a Ferrari
It-
You know, it's
it's
very
so-
high tech.
It's so high tech, you can't believe, Woody. It really, I mean,
No, it's
apparently
like-
this box is made of the wood that you would find in the car.
It's beautiful. I had no idea that this is on Park Avenue, right?
Yes, this is the Park Avenue place. Yes, and they make other games too, not just Mahjong, but they come out with other games like lawn darts. I think they have their own lawn dart set.
This is beautiful. This is
Thank you.
Barney. This is a real find. I had no idea this is in our neighborhood, and we didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
Greg, now you have something.
Now I will say the set is now 3 years old. They told me at the time they were making 5 sets a year. If they still do that, I have no idea. But this was one.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
It's wonderful. I
Thank
love
you.
it.
Thanks. Okay.
So now we will go to, thank you, Barney. Those were
Thank you.
wonderful. And now we are on to the collection of Carrie.
Carrie.
So are you able to chime in, Carrie? I think she was unmuted.
She was.
Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Can you hear me?
Carrie.
Hi.
So I like to do tablescapes, if you guys don't know that about me. So I kind of also hate doing this because I always think I'm done buying sets. I say that all the time. And then I see all these amazing sets that everyone else has. And I think, oh, gotta go shopping. But anyhow, this set here is a Poncho set. And I just love them. I think they were made in the 20s and they're very petite. The pictures are so pretty. The other side of them,
Not good.
they're black
Oh, there we go.
and then kind of colored Arabic numbers. I don't think except the cracks, maybe. Anyhow, I just thought that was they're just so pretty.
Very pretty.
Very pretty.
So can I chime in a moment?
Of course, please do.
Is that all right, Carrie?
Yes, please, everyone.
Okay, so Poncho was a company in both Massachusetts and New York. They only existed for 3 years and then they went bankrupt. They made several different kinds of sets in those 3 years. And this particular set was made in 3 different sizes. And so I call them a baby Poncho, a regular Poncho, and then a larger Poncho, which is the mandarins are typically more in the larger Poncho, which you'll see a picture coming up. And
Toby, I think this must be a medium size.
yeah, I think this is the medium, and you'll see them because I have pictures coming up later on. And they also made some that had kind of a plastic sort of laminate on top with a wood back. So they did some really different things within the one company in those short 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Fascinating.
Mhm.
You. Okay, so next. Okay. For some reason, I think, Carrie, I think your mic might be freezing up a little bit.
There she is. Okay.
There, okay.
You're good.
No,
So this is just a really pretty bone and bamboo set. The bone is very thick. That's what makes it special. I also loved it because I've always had a lot of orange in my life, but I've been playing Mahjong with Barney for so long that anytime I see orange, I'm like, oh. So if you'll notice, it's not red on this set. It's all oranges.
Yep.
Also, my beautiful monogrammed modern Mahjong dice fit very well with this.
Mhm.
And here's a tip for you people who are starting to collect. I came across this at an antique mall and it was at the end of the month. And I think the woman had to make her rent for her little stall. So she gave me a deal on it. So that's the tip. Go on the day that they have to pay rent.
did it come
So-
in a full set, or you had to get matching tiles?
Oh no, I had to get matching jokers, and actually, you know, it's not easy to get them that when they're that thick. So I did. Thank you, Greg.
Greg says she loves your tablescapes.
Yes.
That's my jam.
Beautiful.
Sometimes, okay, there we go.
Wow. Look at that.
Darren, you tried to buy this once, didn't you? A Royal Crown?
And this is just
Yeah.
a fun, I mean, I when I choose things,
Look at that. Beautiful.
when I choose things, I like to get something that's going to photograph really well. And this is such a bright, cheery set. It was made, you know, for a learning set to play with and for kids. And I was so lucky because this was new old stock. So it was still in, you open the box up and it was still in the cellophane, and I couldn't resist, but I opened it.
You get good luck with that.
Yeah.
She's got the
Good shop.
That's very cool.
What does it say? Price $1.25?
Where they're inexpensive, so cheery.
Oh yeah, I do see that. Was that I'm assuming that was not the price of the game, but maybe the price of the instruction book?
Oh, you know what? That's the price of the book.
book,
That's
yeah.
the Dorothy Meyerson book.
That's lovely. That's
Yeah.
1970, right?
They made it for a lot.
So,
Wow.
So for some reason, Carrie, every time we switch to the next,
and this set,
now we hear you.
okay, so this is, as it says, the Red Coin Money Set by D. Gallo. I really got this set because my son is born a year of the rooster, and the one BAM is a rooster. And Dee's family in China had been in the banking industry, so there is a whole money theme going on with this. And one of the things I just love so much is on the winds, the bags, the tops of the bags head in the direction of the wind. So east will be heading that, you know, north is up and south is down. There's also another, yeah, it's fun when you buy a set from her because you
have this
your flowers and you can pick your joke. Wishbone jokers ever made because it turned out that Dee used to collect wishbones when she was younger, and I gave her a gift when I was meeting her, and it was like a silver wishbone, and she just couldn't believe it. So she went and made me some wishbone jokers. And then another funny set about this, which Greg will remember, we had a Mahjong event at the New York Junior League, and Greg's friend Martha Babcock came, and related to the Joseph Babcock. And my husband was chatting with her, and the set was on a table, and he somehow knocked it off, and the whole thing scattered all over the floor. It was just, the box broke.
Oh my goodness.
But with Greg's help and everyone's help, we
Oh wait, do us a favor, Carrie. Can you
get a new box side.
Did you say with Greg's help? We missed you cut out for a second. With Greg's help.
Sorry, yeah, we're cleaning up our event, and Greg was there, and we all got on our hands and knees to make sure that we had it all picked up, literally strewn all over the floor.
Oh my goodness. Okay. And here is another set.
Any issues?
I think now we hear you again.
Yep.
Okay, so this is obviously not a vintage set, but I did. It's the Chrysloid track racks are super long, and it takes a little bit to get used to playing with it, but it's a lot of fun. Like the jokers are little elephants on roller skates. The South is Scarlett O'Hara. The soap is a bar of soap. And by the way, the modern Mahjong Panda Dice pair really well with this set. So
we will show you that in
this is a lot of fun. It was a collaboration between Robert Trachtenberg and Tom Bachtel, and he's a designer, and Tom Bachtel is a cartoonist whose work has been in the New Yorker. So it kind of has that New Yorker feel to it.
So there's the Scarlet. I think that's a lot of people's favorite tile.
Yeah.
It's mine.
That is Kay Wahrsager's favorite tile.
Yes. So for those of you interested, Don and I got to chat with Robert Trachtenberg, and we postponed putting our interview with him out until he was ready to have people sign up for his trial game that he's coming out with. And he's coming out with a game online that uses these tiles. So if you go to our youtube.com/modernmahjong, you could see all of the videos of these type of Zoom talks, as well as our features of several of the people that are on this call. And one of them, if you search Robert Trachtenberg, it's a very interesting video about how he came up with the design, and he wanted it to be very visually appealing, where Carrie was saying how, it takes a little while to get used to it and then it clicks. But in his mind, what he learned, he called it American Mahjong, and he thought it was so interesting that all the tiles were, we were basing on other countries and Chinese numbers. So he wanted it to be a very American, visually appealing set.
But Derek, didn't he say you might be able to change the tiles when playing the online game?
So each year he is going to come out with, and he was saying, as beautiful as a job as Chris Lloyd does, but he said that, you can't get the paint strokes and stuff of it on, certain things. So he said each year he's going to team up with an artist and have different sets that you could trade out with.
Barney wants to know when. I assume when is the online game coming out, but they're still working on it.
Yeah, I think he wants people to sign up for it now, and that he was saying probably within a month or so that he was going to start doing beta testing on it. So, and then as Carrie mentioned, Gregg was nice enough. Gregg was nice enough to share this on Mahjong Community with us, a picture that Carrie took. And
there's our panda dice.
It's perfect.
Okay.
Greg keeps muting.
So this is
There's Greg.
A kind of unique set. It's made out of horn and bone, and I bought it from another collector. Her name's Kathy Stern, and she had said that the set was so unique. Anyhow, the backs are made out of horn. It's very square and almost Germanic looking with the way that the winds are written out like that. Just fun that you don't see all the time. I think it's very masculine set. So.
The BAMs are so interesting.
Yeah. Greg, is that like the symbol for good luck or something? I don't know. On the BAMs.
Longevity.
Is Greg there?
Longevity. Yes,
Longevity.
Yeah.
Greg knows more about Chinese things than I do. So.
That's wonderful.
Especially about the band. She wrote a book on the birds.
Okay, and this set is really special, and I just pulled it out not too long ago, and it was really, I had just a visceral feeling because it was my grandfather's, my mother's father's set, and I never met him, but there's a funny story if you'll let me tell it. When my mom was about 6 years old, she was upset that her father would go out to his men's club to play Mahjong every day. He'd come home from work, he'd read the paper, he'd eat dinner, and then he would go out to the Mahjong club. So she was like all of 6 years old, dragged a stool to the door and deadbolted the lock. So when he came home at like 2 or 3 in the morning, he couldn't get into the house. So the Mahjong addiction is definitely a gene. I have it on both sides, but just can think of my mom climbing up on this stool to lock him out to teach him a lesson. Too much Mahjong.
No such thing.
So that's the Hawk on Globe.
I love the bats and the soaps. Yeah, if you focus
really
in on that.
Very special in this, and as we just learned, that's the longevity symbol right there, and there's a bat.
Bats, yeah.
Greg can speak more to this, and there's capture tiles.
And it's interesting.
Greg, are you there?
Yes.
And it's interesting, Carrie, you used the term for the set before about masculine, but you were also saying when we were talking about this set, how the hawk on the globe is considered masculine.
Yeah, I think it's a military image.
Yeah, Chinese military strength.
And yet the bats are very Art Nouveau.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful, very
But-
delicate.
But the bats are symbols of longevity, and they've got the longevity symbol there too.
Those bats are beautiful.
Yeah.
Very, very delicate and
Yeah.
exquisite.
Were the bats also
And also the
wealth
wind
symbol as
indicator
well?
is really unique. Sorry?
I thought the bats also represent wealth. I don't know that's why they used them in Mahjong.
Yes, both.
They're
Yes.
beautiful. That's just a beautiful special set. Really.
And Carrie, I'm sorry, you said what was unique? I missed the last.
The wind indicator, you don't see them
Yes.
like that. Yeah.
It's so funny how modern it looks compared to the set.
Is that the original piece?
And
Yeah.
that's it. Thanks, guys.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Time to go shopping.
Now here, I'm going to stop sharing for 1 second, and then I'm going to find Gregg. We are going to a video from Gregg about a small Austrian set. So now, bear with me for a second, and I will go back to screen share.
I did videos because I wasn't sure about our Wi-Fi here.
No, and you weren't
Or
sure about
crickets.
Okay, here we go. Here's Gregg's video.
Hi, it's Gregg Swain, and I want to share this cute miniature set with you. When I say miniature, you can see that I'm not kidding, because all 9 tiles across measure less than 4.5 inches, and they're very thin too. I love the Austrian sets. I can identify them because of the color palette, and you can see here that there are some pinks, and there are some dark purples, and there are some very light greens, and that makes it look like an Austrian set to me. Also, the way that the carvers have made their characters shows a lot of energy, and I always feel that some of these numbers and letters are about to run off the tiles. You'll see the dots are sweet. The one BAM is adorable, and the other BAMs are very simple, but of course they have to have the bamboo node in them. I have to say, I love the cracks. I've hardly ever said that about a set, but I happen to love these cracks. And the carver has taken a great deal of liberty with all of the numbers, except for the 1, 2, 3, and 8. But I think they're charming. And there's no room, of course, for the character at the bottom. The flowers are sweet, and then the news looks like they're desperate to start spreading the news. Thanks, Frank Sinatra, hoping that it's good news that we need to hear soon. And dragons are nice too, so hope you enjoy.
Beautiful. Okay, so now let's.
Very unusual.
Yeah, beautiful.
Very pretty.
Share screen. Going back to my.
So we get this question a lot. Somebody has asked, where can one shop for these types of sets? And it's my experience that collectors don't share that information. You know, so I don't know if you guys agree, but it's not just finding them on eBay. It's knowing people and going to auctions.
And also, if you do find one, just making sure that you check, I forgot who said it at the beginning, but check the front of the tiles, check the back of the tiles, check around, ask people if it's a reputable seller, things like that.
Yeah.
I always smell the tiles too.
Yeah.
So now we are on to case set.
I just want to say one thing that I've learned, like if you buy on eBay and it'll say 152 tiles, it doesn't mean that the 152 tiles all match. It could be tiles from other sets and mishmashed, and it's very disappointing if you buy it and you don't have a full set.
No, that's why I think it was Toby and Gregg in their book were saying to make sure, you know, if you get a set that says 144 and you think you're going to match, you know, it's really one of those things where it's like, I'm not a doctor, I play one on TV. It's a really great thing to rely on people that know they could complete it for you.
And if it says 152, you should see a photo of every single tile that's in that set. So
Mute yourself for a second.
So can you see the screen now?
no.
All right, see.
Oh, sorry. Let me see why it's not sharing.
Okay, it's starting now. Okay, so now we have Kay.
So this is a Portland billiard set, which was made by the Portland Billiard Company of Portland, Maine. They are made of the same material as billiard balls, so they are incredibly heavy. And I think the standing peacock one BAM is super fun. The one dot has a very primitive, what I think is a bat, but it's supposed to be a bat. It doesn't really look like one, but also a symbol of, you know, wealth and prosperity. And because I'm all about the dragons, these are not especially exciting dragons, but the weight of it makes it really great to play with. And the box is a wood box with sliding doors, and the top the front piece pulls up, and I just think it's, you know, sort of simple and charming, and I love it.
Yeah, the one bam is just stunning.
And I love everything about it. I'm in my pandemic lair, so I don't have access to all of my accessories and swag to take fabulous Carrie style tablescape pictures. So I have to make do with what I have here in the, you know, wilderness.
Got it.
But I have my good rack, my beautiful Christine Whitman racks, and this is of special interest to me because dragons are my jam. And my college logo has changed from an Indian, which was, you know, eliminated since it was considered, you know, inappropriate, and it's been changed to a William and Mary Griffin. So these are the TYL Griffin set, and I think they're just so cute and funny and different. And I had to have them because I have to have anything that catches my eye because I'm a highly addicted Mahjong shopper. And I just love playing with them. They are lucky, which is nice. Some things are not lucky for me, and they disappear into the back of the closet.
It's interesting.
What I want is a jellyback set. And that's like probably the last thing I really, really, really want until the next thing I really, really, really want.
Well, it's interesting because I have this set and I love it, and Dara always loves it. She's like, I want that. So I saw one recently on eBay, and I was going to buy it for her. And the only problem was
you were going to tell me about it to buy it. David.
Oh, I was looking to buy it for you, but there was only one red Griffin Dragon showing, and it made me very nervous. And they didn't show the rest of the tiles. So.
Well, I got that from Theresa.
That's funny.
So this was a private sale item for with my custom K Mahjong Dice, and the seller had Charlie, the Joker sticker lady, make me Monty as a warrior Joker. It's Monty the cat.
I love that.
Know me in real life. And here is Monty the cat, if you can see.
Hi, Monty.
Monty the cat is really eager. And so this was a picture for Valentine's Day, for Galentine's Day. And it is really beautiful. The dovetails are absolutely 100% perfect. No loosening. They're a rich, like chocolatey brown. Everything about it was like meticulously maintained. No weird smells from the box, which is a constant struggle. Plus, you know, there was candy. And that was when we did fun stuff and had people over and enjoyed ourselves.
Yep.
So it was a happy memory with a different set of Christine Whitman racks, which go with everything because they're the best. And I love my custom dice and my Monty Jokers.
Beautiful.
That's so great.
Okay, so oh shoot, I have the other PDF. I got to get the more recent PDF. Bear with me for 1 second.
We thank Toby she just came off a trip and sent us some sets. So
Hi, Monty.
Okay, so hold on 1 sec. Let me share my screen.
Toby, maybe next year we can all meet you at the spa
Oh,
at Miraval.
yes, everyone. I just got back from a Mahjong wellness retreat in Arizona at a high-end resort spa called Miraval, and there were 15 of us.
Wow.
So it was the first time I taught in person since March, and I got to tell you, look this place up, 5-star. It was spectacular. Hiking and yoga and meditation and anything you could even name. It was amazing. Oh, so here we are. This set is actually in Gregg Swain's book, and it's called Ashton Writes. And Ashton Writes was actually a company in Chicago, and this is supposedly a very rare set. I've heard that there are only like 10 known in existence. Do I know that that's true? I don't. But it comes in kind of a cardboard box, and my cardboard box is beyond funky. But the set itself is exquisite. It's black. I mean, really black. And Matthew Shim, whose birthday is tomorrow in Hawaii, he sent me, I ordered from him 8 tiles that match perfectly. And so I was able to joker sticker them with Charlie stickers, which you see over there. And I wanted something that was really kind of dramatic because, you know, that's how the set feels to me, very dramatic. And this is a wonderful set in that the flowers are continuous. So each bouquet in a basket continues over 2 tiles, which is one of my favorite things when you have continuous tiles. It's just, and the white is very unusual in this set. It looks like white paint. I think it's just great. And also this is from about 1923, from what I've read.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I just love it. And this set also did come in Gregg's book. It's shown in russet, and it looks pretty different when you see it in the other color. And I don't know, Gregg, who owned the other set? Was that you? You?
Me.
All right. Yeah. So, yeah, it would be interesting to see them together. But do you think that I'm right about the 10 sets in existence, or?
No.
It's beautiful.
No, there are more than that, but it's very rare.
Very rare.
It looks like a scratch board. And
Yeah.
It looks like a chalkboard. It
Yeah.
doesn't have that in person or no?
When I saw this set, I called Barney. This is before I met you. I called it the Barney Set because it looked like Barney's store on Madison Avenue. It was so chic and so hip and so cool. It's called the Barney Set. With Michelle Arnaud and I, we called this the Barney Set, and you had to keep the name consistent to the publisher. Although I don't think we say that in the book, but
I do not say that in the book.
But we called this the Barney Set.
And then one other thing I should say is that whenever I get a vintage set, I'd say 100% of the time when I'm joker stickering and or adding dice, I always want, as Carrie did with the Panda dice from Modern Mahjong, I always add dice or take away dice that I think really work with the set. And because this was just so black, I just loved the black and white with it. So those I added to this set.
So Gregg said that these are the only dragons like this, the white dragons.
Yes, yeah, they're pretty remarkable because you don't see a dragon, you don't see what we think of as familiar. These are really unusual.
Very interesting. Okay, let me go now to the next one.
Beautiful.
This set is the first set that I show in every single beginner's class because this set was my grandmother's and then my mother's. This is the set, Barney, that I would run out of the house with if my house is burning down.
Mm-hmm.
So this set has the beautiful geisha girls as the flowers. It's just Chinese Bakelite. It is not a chunky set. Some of you already know this, but a couple years ago at one of my monthly Mahjong brunches, I got 5 owl sets together.
Wow.
And that was really a feat to do that. I got 4 collectors to loan me their sets. And I put out 5 sets, and all 5 were in different cases. None of them matched each other. Not one of them could you interchange tiles. They didn't match in color, in height, in width, in depth at all. You just couldn't do it. So I've had this set for 40 years. I'm sure it was made in the 20s, Chinese Bakelite. And I've never found jokers that matched it perfectly. So I have jokers, but they are not perfect. So if I was playing in a tournament, this set would be toast, would never work. If I play with my friends, they might accept it. But it's my favorite set that I personally own.
It's beautiful.
This set I don't really know much about, but it was very exciting for me because these sets are not that uncommon, but to have a phoenix as a one bam is uncommon. And I got the 8 perfectly matching jokers from Johnny Levine. So that was really exciting to me. And I had a smaller, these are small, and I had smaller stickers made from Charlie. And it's just a wonderful little set. By the way, I love playing with mini sets, and I was actually going to have a brunch coming up, but COVID took over. But I was going to have a brunch with like 10 tables of 10 mini sets. So they're really fun to play with. Some people don't like them, but I happen to love them. So, and what's neat about this one is it just sort of neatly fits in this box, and it just, you just walk away with it. So it's a great little set.
And do you play, what kind of racks do you use?
None.
None?
Yeah, with this one, none. With my grandmother's set, Christine Whitman's, which are the best of the best. You know what I tell all my students? She should take this on as your tagline, the Rolls Royce of racks.
I call them the
I
Cadillac,
call
but
them,
you're right. Yeah. They are the Rolls Royce.
The Rolls Royce of racks. This is a very special set. I doubt that there are many in the world. This is Chinese Bakelite. It's chunky, but the unique thing about this set is the back of this set is curved the way bamboo would be curved. So the Chinese Bakelite has a convex. And you can see it if you stop right here.
Yeah.
The very first image, see that? Is rounded, and it's a little more pronounced in person. You really see the difference of the top to the bottom. And Richard Yep, bless his heart, found 4 of these tiles. We're having dinner together tonight, so I'll tell him that I brought his name up. And he's a collector, and he lives a couple blocks away from me in Berkeley, California. And he found 4 tiles. They don't match in color perfectly, but I'm ecstatic. So that's very exciting to me. One of my tiles has a chip in it, which is a little sad, but that's the way it goes with vintage. I always say you have to be very forgiving. And I want to say one other thing, that this set was owned by Delia Fleischhacker, and most of you would say, well, who's that? Well, in San Francisco, the Bay Area, the Fleischhacker family was a very famous family. They owned the Fleischhacker pool. They owned a lot of buildings. They have a foundation which was started, I believe, in 1947 for the good of San Francisco. So they've done a lot of great work. And Delia Fleischhacker was one of my students at a very sort of beautiful, prestigious club. So Delia comes in one day with this set in a beautiful leather case, and it was a mess. So I said, oh, let me take it home. And I cleaned it up, and I polished the leather, and I changed the ribbon on the key, and I cleaned the whole set, and I gave it back to her. And Delia says, oh, no, Toby, you keep it. And I said, Delia, I can't keep this set. I'm not going to keep this set. And she said, no. And she must have been a smoker or something. She goes, just keep the damn thing. They're just going to sell it out for money. So that's how I came to own this set. So this was a gift from Delia to me.
Wow.
And then silly question, is that your beautiful calligraphy on the top?
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you.
I had to Dara. I said, who did the calligraphy?
Thank you. A previous life. This set on the far left here is a baby set, a mini set, and it's in what we call a coffin box because you slide the top off. And this set is bone and bamboo, and the jokers are in some of these sets, the jokers are pigs. In Gregg's book, she has a pig for one of the jokers. I had one that was an antelope, and I regret having sold it because I've never seen it before or since. I've seen horses, they're a little more common. I've seen frogs. So these sets that are mini have, the jokers are one of my favorite parts of them. And they typically have a standing peacock one bam. And this is it on the side, and I put a regular bone of bamboo to the right of these mini ones so that you could see just how small they are. So the one on the far right is actual size, is the size of a regular bone and bamboo tile, and the one on the left is the set that I'm showing you. And the one on the right is from one of my sets that I just love, because it's just got these wonderful little images on the flowers. It's just great. You see, these are buildings with birds flying through the sky. It's just a great set. So now we're back to the Pung Chow that Carrie showed us earlier. And this particular Pung Chow set is the set that we call the Mandarins. And there's my calligraphy, and which I wasn't trying to tout. What I love about this is that the white dragon is actually painted in silver, and they are actually dragons that are standing up, and they're just wonderful. On this particular set, which is unusual, are the mandarins. On the far right, you see the mandarin man. And in some of these sets, the mandarin men have colored outfits that are painted in. This one is not painted. I Joker stickered it. I got 8 tiles that match perfectly. They're not hard to do because they are machine made. One of the things that's very unique about this set is, if you notice this, there are no numbers or letters on this set. Well, there are letters on the north, east, west, south, but there are no numbers except on the cracks. So I love the graphic of this. The graphic, especially on the dots, is, to me, it's almost Scandinavian. Some people think of it as I don't know, it's just a beautiful graphic that I love. A lot of the Pung Chow that you're going to see on eBay, the colors are worn down and not in good condition. So you have to be very, very careful when you buy a Pung Chow set. There was something that they did, the color didn't always last. So that's a very important feature to pay attention to. One of the things I did, if you go to the top line on the upper right image, the jokers, what I did was I put in one tile. This is a baby Pung Chow set, and the large one there is from the Mandarin set. So you can see just how different they are in size. It's pretty dramatic difference when you play with them. And these Joker stickers are from Tom Sloper. He only has, I think, 2 different ones, but this one I cut down to fit this set. And I felt like the colors in her cheeks and everything matched the colors in the set. And I just really liked it with the set. So that's the Pung Chow. And and the box of the Pung Chow, the baby one just comes in a cardboard box, nothing special. And then this box is a little sturdier, but still cardboard. It's kind of almost like,
I'm sorry, that's John.
Okay.
John.
So this has kind of, it's almost like a wallpaper on it, but there was a set that I think Kay bought that is, I think those are the nicest boxes of all. They have kind of a tassel-like metal handle, and they just flip open in the front, and they're just gorgeously done. So Pung Chow really did some variety in what they did.
It's in my living room.
All right. I hope you love it.
I do love it.
Good.
So we really are thrilled that actually timing-wise, we got to the end of our sneak peek for tonight. And we know that if the interest is there, we know all of you have other stunning, exquisite sets to share with everyone. Donna and I will be sharing this to our YouTube channel. We'll post on Facebook when it's ready. If you subscribe to our youtube.com/Modern Mahjong channel, you can click on it to get notifications when we upload the videos. Just some other fun housekeeping. Our virtual tournament, we are having our 4th tournament in November. And like it says, the winners of November tournament are, you can't win if you don't play. So if you want to win, you could join. We are donating every month. We pick a different charity. So far, we've done the Women's Alzheimer's Movement. We've done the Alzheimer's Association. We've done ALS. This time we are doing the Tutu Project. Donna, you want to?
Yeah, we're going to do a post about the Tutu Project. It's really an amazing organization. And the husband of the wife who had breast cancer actually wears tutus at all the events. And they take the most wonderful photos, and they're wonderful people. So we're happy to be donating to them this month.
And we are also, last year, we were thrilled to raise $1,500 because of the sales of the 2020 card. So this year we're doing that again. We're pre-ordering the 2021 card. And since it's our second year, $2.50 per card will be donated to the Alzheimer's Association. So that you could find the information on modernmahjong.com. You could mail in a check or you could pay by credit card online. And we have other upcoming events. We have more Maj makeovers and Charleston challenges in our series with Bubby Fisher. I reckon Helen's on the call, who was one of our first Maj makeovers. We have Zoom bingo coming up with a Mahjong twist. And for that, Fern Bernstein of Mahjong Mondays will be joining us. And we have some exciting Zoom talk special guests that we're going to be announcing soon. So all of those, like we said before, if you go to Modern Mahjong and you click on the events tab and you scroll down, there's all the different Zoom links. So we really love this. We thought this was a, hold on, I'm gonna stop sharing. We thought this was a great way for everybody to connect, and we just really appreciate all of you joining us and having a way to keep our Mahjong community together.
Thank you for this.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this.
Love it, love it, love it.
Thanks for opening up your collection for us.
Say goodbye, Monty.
Bye, Monty. Bye, Monty.
More. I love it.
Can we see Monty?
Of course.
Oh, wait, now we have Andrew's cat. I love it. Hi, Monty.
Hi, Monty.
Oh, I locked my dog out of the house.
Monty does not accept that.
Here's Sunshine. There's Sunshine. She'll bark at Monty and Andrew's cat.
This is the animal segment.
Yeah, and Daisy, her husband's getting dinner ready, so Daisy is not going to be coming in here. She's too excited about the dinner.
Chili, say hello.
We let everybody talk at this part.
Oh, what a good girl.
Here's Christine.
Andrew's cat. Everybody can unmute themselves now and say goodbye.
That's so cute. Look at this.
We call this our Brady Bunch ending. So.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, Donna and
Hi,
Darren.
Toby. Hi, Barney.
Good night, Gracie.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Francis.
Lovely.
Bye.
Lovely.
See you soon. Thank you so much.